So, have any of you ever desired something so badly that it made you sick? And I don't mean in a figurative sense, I mean literally. Have you ever wanted something so badly that it put you in a fucking hospital? Now, as far as the story goes, it could have started in the womb, but my earliest memory that's part of this was back in elementary school when I was given an assignment to write and illustrate a short picture book. And part of that assignment was to write an author's biography. And being 8 years old, I didn't write down that I wanted to be president or a scientist or the other things that the other 8-year-olds listed. I put down that I wanted to be a film director like Steven Spielberg, and that I was named after Gregory Peck, who had won an Oscar for being Atticus Finch in To Kill a Mockingbird, but really Peter O'Toole deserved the award that year for Lawrence of Arabia. So yes, I was a really pretentious little 8-year-old shit. And I was probably the only middle schooler with a subscription to Film Comment and Cahiers du Cinema. So, film has been a lifelong passion for me, although obsession is probably a more accurate word. When I graduated from Temple University, I hopped on a bus, went to New York City, and within a day found an apartment in Bed-Stuy, do-or-die, Brooklyn. I lived right across the street from the Marcy Street Projects, home of Biggie and Jay-Z. And I would go to the local film office every day inquiring about which films were shooting, and then I would show up on the sets pestering anyone I could find to hire me. And within 2 days, I got a 1 week long gig on Spider-Man 3, and that led to a 3-month-long job on Rescue Me, which led to staff positions on Law and Order and The Sopranos. Within a month, I was part of the film business. My dream had come true. The geeky Greek kid from Upper Darby was on his way to being a Hollywood player. But maybe not exactly. All of this sounds a lot more impressive than what it actually was. I was a PA. And as a PA, my job responsibilities was fetching drinks and snacks for asshole actors and asshole union members, recharging walkie-talkie batteries, and doing lockups. What's a lockup, you ask? Well, when a major film shoot is filming on a street and they can't afford to shut the street down, they get a bunch of poor, hungry film school graduates to stand on all the street corners and stop pedestrians from crossing in front of the shot. And I'll tell you, New Yorkers really love being told that they have to go 4 blocks out of their way because Law and Order is filming a scene with 2 no-name actors on a bench, and that's more important than someone getting home or getting to work on time. And as a PA in 2005, I was making a $100 daily rate. And that's based on a 12-hour day, and I never worked a 12-hour day. I was lucky. It was a good day when we worked 14, but generally it was 16 with the occasional 18. And living in Bed-Stuy meant that I lived off the G line, which is commonly referred to as the ghost train. New York has the greatest public transportation system in the world unless you live off the G line. It would take me 2 hours to get home 15 miles in Brooklyn when I could have drove back to fucking Philly in that amount of time. So if you're doing the math, it means that I was getting about 3 hours of sleep every night for 2 years. And during the summer months, I would just say, fuck it, not go home and sleep on a park bench like a homeless man. And so I just kept thinking, if I stick this out, I'm bound to make my way on up. But the reality is, when you're a non-union PA, you don't make your way up. You're a disposable battery, and the film production company will use you up like a battery and then throw you away and replace you with another delusional 22-year-old with a worthless film degree. And let me tell you, all of the stereotypes about the film industry is true. I can tell you that Dennis Leary wears ass and shoulder padding because he looks like an alien from Close Encounters of the Third Kind, and he would have cocaine meltdowns every day on set. Remember that video of Christian Bale screaming like a lunatic every day? That's every day on a film set. The film industry is fueled on cocaine. And I was scared of that. I mean, I was making minimum wage. How the fuck could I afford to develop a cocaine habit? So I would drink 4 Red Bulls a day, and let me tell you, cocaine's better for you than Red Bull. After a while, I started throwing up all the time. I was having violent dry heaving fits on set, and I was eating junk food every day from craft services, so I was like 200 pounds, which at 5'6" doesn't look very good on you. And after long enough, I was on the set of Law and Order. We're filming this big, important scene with a ton of actors, and I just start puking everywhere, and I'm puking blood. So they sent me home, but in actuality, I ended up in the ER. I had developed such a bad case of acid reflux, I eroded the lining of my esophagus. And the job offered me health benefits after 30 days, but they weren't legally required to provide it until after 6 months. I worked for them for 5 months, so I was stuck with a huge hospital bill and no legal standing to sue. And so maybe you're thinking that all of this would make me bitter, and you're thinking correctly. And maybe you're thinking that this would deter me from pursuing a career in film, and there, you're wrong. I've hit rock bottom so many times that I had this delusional belief that the underdog story of my life has to turn around at some point, because that's the thing with desire. It's a disease, and it will make you sick. Thank you.